Good morning guys, welcome to Operation Crypto. We're going to do some analysis on Vechain today. We did cover it last week or potentially the week before. We was having that nice rise, but the price did hit that peak up at 3.3 cent and it did start to rotate and start to push down. I did say on my previous video, if you're looking to buy Vechain, then start laddering orders potentially from this 382 level. I'm not too sure if I mentioned that, but I definitely mentioned this region here. I've put a nice green box on it, and whenever I put a green box, that tends to be a buy zone for me. And whether you're in a bull market or a bear market, if a price pushes to the upside, you're always going to get profit taking and belief. Currently, we are following the patterns of Bitcoin. I mean, currently I say we've been following the pattern of Bitcoin for a while. We do get different percentage rises across different times, but usually when Bitcoin's going up, the rest of the market's following it and vice versa. Bitcoin has had a bear market rally, and that's what's happened here, along with Vechain, and we've had a pullback. So I did say in the last video, if you manage to buy some or look towards this area, look, this is a decent area to buy Vechain, because we have hit that golden ratio. I would have said also, don't go all in here, look to target buys at around 2.5 cent, and then if we zoom out, you can see that this is another major support level down at this region here, about 2.1 cent. So I'm not saying this drop is over, we could continue down. And also, if we just take a quick look at Bitcoin, many people are still thinking we're going to keep going lower and lower. The fear and greed index, when it was down here, was around 7. That is historically a great time to buy. There's nothing to say that it's not going to go down towards those regions again, but for me, I just don't quite think we're going to push down to those regions again. I think that potentially that could have been the bottom at 17k. Maybe wrong, it's just a guess on me, but we had so much negativity and FUD all the way down here, and especially if we go back to a daily time frame at 28k, to me I was buying quite a few assets then, and I presumed that was a decent level to buy. We did get a significant pullback then. We had Tesla dropping 75% of their holdings, which then brought Bitcoin down with it, and ultimately it brought the rest of the market down. And that's exactly what happened with Vechain, because I bought some Vechain here, went down to this level, bounced up, and then that was just above my profit zone. I didn't take any, and it's come back down towards that region. But I'm in got a decent amount of Vechain, not a considerable amount like I had last time on a previous run, but I've got a decent amount, and I will potentially look to top that up. If you look at this latest move that we've had to the upside, as you can see, we hit this peak around here, didn't we? If you look at all those candles there, that probably would have given you a good reason to sell. I mean, it's the same on a few other assets. I've been buying Metis, and look at that. We hit that peak there and then sold off. And like I say, most assets are in tandem with Bitcoin. So that really should have been a bit of an eye opener to say, look, sell there. I think if we do get back up towards that region and break it, then we are going to come up to this region at around 4.4 cent. And that will be a major profit taking region for me. Probably be about 75% move from that current entry back there. But also, don't neglect these Fibonacci's. If you're looking to take profit, use these fibs to your advantage. So if I'm putting a Fibonacci on from the bottom to the top, we do get a little bit of retracement. But also, I put these extra negative levels on, the -2.7 and the -6.18. Those are good levels to take profit. I always see quite good confluence with those two levels, and the price does push up. And that is close again to the bottom of that move. So looking at current prices, if you are wanting to buy now, then I would still consider buys at 2.5 cent, and I would ladder those buys all the way down to 2.1 cent. I think if the market did continue to deteriorate after that, then you're going to look at other levels. I mean, if you look at this region here, it was a peak, it was a resistance level there, so that's another level where you could consider down at 1.8 cent, and that's for, I think that's a region I bought back around here, probably around here in 2020. I bought before that bull run, watched it go all the way up and watched it come all the way down, and end up taking profit around here on Vechain. So I need to learn properly to take profit on the way up, not on the way down, but we all struggle with that. So if the price just continues rejecting, Bitcoin starts losing that 17k level, which I don't envisage it's going to do, then 1.8 cent could be a decent region to buy, and then any lower than that you're looking at support down at around less than a cent. But let's keep our fingers crossed that doesn't happen. We do know that globally the markets are in dire straits. And that's not just crypto, that's traditional markets. The cost of living is on the rise, inflation is just extreme. Even in the UK it is starting to get a bit crazy. Hyperinflation in a lot of countries, especially in South America, So there's a lot going on. We've had the after effects of COVID. We've got war going on with Russia and Ukraine, which could then spill into China and Taiwan. There's so much going on which can affect the financial security of every asset in the world. It's a tough time. It is a real tough time to invest in, especially if you're a crypto trader, more investor. It is hard. It is really hard to find your feet and guess really when the market's going to go up. But for me, one thing that will stop you from guessing is having that position in an altcoin at your favour. If it goes down, it goes down. Also, have a healthy portion of your portfolio in stable assets. For me, I keep a decent portion USDC, keep some USDT there just to buy some other cryptos, but keeping that potentially up to 50%. I think I've got around 50% now in stables, and then also keeping that portion of your assets in some crypto just in case it does take off at some stage. I think it's the way ahead. For me, it has always worked. Since 2017, I was buying crypto and watching it go down, but having that patience over the last 2 years, how long has it been? 5 years potentially since then. You do get those rises, and patience does massively pay off. May not feel like it a minute, because when the market is tanking, you're thinking, God, what is this shit? Shall I just pack it up, do something else? Shall I go into stock? Shall I buy bonds? Shall I do all sorts? Crypto for me is one of the best ways to make money if you can have that patience. And for me, that's something that I managed to learn over time. It is hard. It is hard watching a portfolio sink, but that's the way it is. So we've talked about buy zones down here. This is in my buy zone now, and I'll probably do a little bit of topping up. Sell zone is still here. That is a good sell zone at 3.3 cent. And then if you're looking to sell any further, if the price does continue and starts trending up, then look at 3.7, 4.2, and around 4.4 cent. It could be decent areas for you to take profit. Beyond that, we have got some other levels, but I think we're quite significant away from that. There's a higher chance that the price is going to go down when up. Currently, like I said, all those points are noted about the global state of the markets, the state of finances in general. Everything does point to further downside. Things point towards recession, and that's not good. One thing that you could take from it is that cryptocurrency, the decentralized option, is a hedge against the current traditional financial systems that we use today. And that's one of the reasons I'm also in crypto. I think it is that voice against this corrupt centralization. That is what crypto is here for. Ultimately, yeah, the Fed has got its fingers in the pies and it's pulling everything down with it, and quantitative tightening is probably not assisting with any growth at the minute, but that's the way it is, and that's the way we have to take it. I'm buying slowly and methodically. I'm not going all in. I've got stables there just in case, and I suggest you at least try and keep a healthy amount of stables, because it keeps that in check. But that's it for today. That's going to just cover my analysis and maybe general thoughts on the market there. But yeah, that's Vechain covered and my thoughts. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.